Hello friends, problem-based MCQ. It will require certain understanding of the concept. Let's see. Blood sampling is done for measurement of venous O2 levels. Mark these words, venous oxygen levels. Samples are collected from the superior vena cava and the inferior vena cava. Alright, so in relative terms, what will be their O2 contents? I mean, the question is asking you to compare the O2 content of the superior vena cava and inferior vena cava in terms of volumes percent. How does it compare? And the options are superior vena cava has more oxygen content compared to inferior vena cava, or inferior vena cava has greater O2 content compared to superior vena cava, or they both have exactly the same oxygen content, or cannot be compared. You want to answer this? All right. Well, the answer is inferior vena cava has more oxygen volume percent or content compared to the superior vena cava. Let's see why. You need to understand that veins, they get oxygen after leaving the tissue. I mean, in the resting condition, this question is about the resting conditions of the tissues, resting metabolic conditions. So, a tissue will extract oxygen, whatever is required, and in the remaining oxygen will go into the venous blood. If that is understood, then you will also understand that if a tissue is extracting more amount of oxygen, then less will go into the venous blood. And on the other hand, a tissue is extracting relatively less amount of oxygen, then more will reach the venous side, reach the venous blood. With that in mind, let's see here. Superior vena cava is receiving the blood from the upper parts of the body, from the cranial contents, from the brain. And brain under resting conditions extracts relatively greater amount of oxygen. And since brain tissue will extract more oxygen from the blood, from the capillaries, then that means veins coming back from the brain will have a lesser amount of oxygen relatively. And compare this with inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava receives blood from the renal vein. Renal vein joins the inferior vena cava. That means what is the venous content of the renal vein? You know this, that the kidneys have, they just amount for 1 or 2% of the body weight, small organ, but they receive almost 25% of the cardiac output. Small organ with massive blood supply means what? Massive oxygen delivery into the kidneys. And being the small organ, it extracts relatively less from it. That means more oxygen will go back into the renal vein, and that renal vein joins the inferior vena cava, and therefore if you compare the two, inferior vena cava has more oxygen content in terms of volume percent compared to the superior vena cava, superior vena cava's oxygen content. So it was a simple concept of how the veins get oxygen after tissue has extracted some amount. So many such questions will be discussed regularly on our channel. So subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon.